Hi everybody, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. This feels like the Allis Chalmers channel now, where we work on nothing but Allis Chalmers, but of course that is not the case. You know me, we work on just about anything we can get our hands on. All different makes and models of tractors and cars and whatever else I can find. But lately, it's been this. The last time we saw this, it was in 3 pieces, actually more than 3 pieces, but I had split the tractor in the center, removed the torque tube to replace the hydraulic seals in there, both the rears and the front. And over the course of the last week, I've really been putting a lot of time into this to get it back together, and that was not an easy job. For those of you who have never seen this tractor up close and complete, I'll do a quick walk around here, and then we'll dive right in. I'll tell you what we did. So this tractor is a little bit unique in the sense that it has a standard foot clutch right here, but it also has a hand clutch. A lot of the tractors of this era had either one or the other. I don't think a whole lot of them had both. I think this is a pretty unique design, at least from my experience. So on a regular tractor, right, with one without a hand clutch, this entire section here would be missing. The transmission back there would bolt straight up to the bell housing. And as you can see, it actually makes the tractor a little bit longer. Anyway, I've owned this tractor for about 3 years or so, and the entire time I've owned it, the hydraulic chamber has never held fluid. It's always leaked into the transmission side, and I figured out it had also been leaking into the bell housing engine clutch side, and that's why I took everything apart to fix those seals. So this right here is the dipstick for the hydraulic chamber, and I don't know if you can see the level in there, but it is full on the dipstick and it's full in the reservoir. The entire time I've owned the tractor, it has never been full, and as a result, I have not been able to use the rear lift, which has been a shame because, gosh, a couple years ago, I think it's been now, I created my own 3-point conversion and installed a 3-point conversion back here, and I can finally use it. Anyway, that entire repair of splitting the tractor into 3 pieces and replacing those seals and getting everything put back together, the repair was a success. The new seals are doing their job. They're preventing the hydraulic oil from spilling into the other chambers. It's holding oil. The rear chamber is holding oil as well, and we have no leaks under the tractor. So the project is done. My repair was successful. Unfortunately, it feels a little bit anticlimactic, and I can't quite celebrate the way I want to after finishing up such a large project because I have another issue. Now, to preface what I'm about to explain, everything works. It runs well, it doesn't overheat, it charges. The clutch works, the transmission works, the rear lift works, which is what we were trying to fix in the first place. But I've got a strange noise coming from up here in the bell housing somewhere. It's not a knock, it's not a bang, it's not a grinding noise, it's more like a gentle rubbing noise, and I just cannot figure it out. It seems to be coming from, like I said, the bell housing area, and basically the only thing in there is the input shaft, the pressure plate and the clutch and the throwout bearing. Now the noise goes away completely when I press the clutch pedal. And then when I let it back out again, the noise starts back up. So I'm going to start the tractor up now and see if you guys can hear the noise. So I think you guys could probably pick that up, especially when I depress the clutch pedal and then let it back out. You could tell the difference. You know, it's not a terrible, like a rod knock or a broken crankshaft or anything like that. It's more of a kind of a benign rubbing noise. And for the life of me, I cannot figure it out. And what's especially frustrating is that everything works. It's just the noise that is curious, and it was never there before. I took the inspection plate off, looking at different things in there, looking at the throwout bearing, looking at the clutch, and there's nothing obviously wrong in there. There's nothing obvious that's rubbing, but the noise is RPM based. That is, when I increase the throttle, the frequency of that rubbing noise will increase with the RPM. Yes, the throwout bearing is lubed, and yes, the clutch fingers and the air gap are adjusted properly. And again, it sounds to me like it's coming from the bell housing. It does not sound like it's coming from the hand clutch assembly area. It doesn't sound like it's coming from the hydraulic pump, and it doesn't sound like it's coming from the transmission or the engine. It seems to be centered right in here somewhere, and I just can't quite figure that out. For those of you who don't know, when I press the clutch in with my foot and hold it there, everything from behind the clutch plate all the way back to the transmission stops moving. It stops rotating when I push the clutch in. When I let the clutch out, even in neutral, all that stuff begins to spin again and rotate. Here, let me start it up again. but it's still, something isn't quite right. So just so you know, my intention is to eventually sell this. I just don't have a use for it. And it's such a nice tractor. I think a lot of other people out there would probably like to own this and get more use out of it than I am. But I can't sell it with that rubbing noise. It's driving me crazy. And I don't want to, you know, advertise it. Hey, this is a great tractor, everything's great, except we got a strange rubbing noise coming from the bell housing. Well, I probably wouldn't buy it if I was looking at it. This noise could be completely benign. It could go away by itself, or it could be a precursor to some type of a failure. We just don't know. Sometimes when I get so engrossed and intimate and involved with a project, when I run into an issue like this, sometimes it's hard to think of it objectively. It's hard to see the forest for the trees. So what I'm going to do is take a break from this and get back to the John Deere for a while or something else and just think about this for a while. If you guys have any ideas for me, please drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, this one's just kind of got me baffled at the moment, but I think we'll eventually figure it out just like we do everything else. So like I said before, my success with replacing the seals and fixing the internal leaks, I can't enjoy it quite as much as I would like to because of the strange rubbing noise. But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and I hope to see everybody on the next video, whatever that is. Take care, everybody.